it is probably not a good idea to watch a presidential debate involving Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton and then watch a wrestling show. Because I can't promise you will be able to enjoy the show as much as you would be able to, because I'm not going to lie, I had a hard time getting into wrestling while watching that debate. It was like, that debate was so messy. It was a hot mess. Let me just say it that way. I don't even want to think about it. So you'll have to excuse me if I'm not giving you a lot of energy right now, because that debate just wore me out. It just was a hot mess all around. Regardless, you don't care about that. This is a safe haven. We're here to talk about some wrestling. Some WWE No Mercy 2016, because once again, your boy, Alyx Man, is live here on YouTube. And I'm wearing the Alyx Man t-shirt, which you can buy anytime, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta say, when it comes to No Mercy tonight, if you saw my preview, you know that I was extremely hyped for this show. I felt like the hype was on point. Extremely on point. There was a lot of things that hindered this from being the show that I knew it could be. One of them was that Becky Lynch got hurt. An undisclosed medical problem recently occurred with Becky Lynch that put her out. That's going to put her out for at least a month. It's nothing serious. She's going to keep the championship, apparently. But WWE has not told us what that injury is, or that medical problem, what that issue is. They're just saying that she's going to be out for a while. Maybe it's a privacy thing. That's fine with me. But Becky Lynch not being on the show meant that the women's match, the women's championship match, was going to have to be changed. And I felt like that took away from the show a little bit. Also, the fact that this was the same night of the presidential debate, WWE had to structure their card in a way to get the most out of their show, because they knew that people were going to be tuning out and watching the debate over the show. As a result, they put the World Championship first on the card. And they had Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt close, which I'll get into that when I get to the match. But overall, I'll say this. In terms of my enjoyment of the show, it was a solid show. I can't really say it was a bad show. It wasn't. Did it live up to the hype? Unfortunately, it didn't. But I can't get mad at them for not living up to a hype that circumstances didn't allow them to have. They couldn't give us a women's championship match. Becky Lynch got hurt. They basically structured their card to allow fans to watch the debate, but, you know, get the most out of the matches that they wanted to see. Now, I will complain about one match they booked that I wasn't too pleased with the positioning of it on the card. But other than that, I just kind of feel like SmackDown, like the draft, was given a bad hand tonight, and they made the most out of it. So I'm not going to sit here and bash it too much. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was a terrific show, because it didn't live up to the hype. It didn't. But they did the best they could with the hand they were dealt with. And I'm going to do my best to illustrate that when I talk about the matches and why I felt like, although this was good, this is why I felt like it could have been better. How about that? That's basically what No Mercy is. It's good, but it could have been so much better. Give me your thoughts about this down below in the comments, in the live feed, whenever, wherever you're watching this. And I love getting feedback for this show. So let's get into it with the pre-show. We did the 8-man tag. It was Hype Bros and American Alpha taking on the Vaudevillains and the Ascension. Decent match. Hype Bros and American Alpha win. I feel like I've seen this match before. And I've said this before on previous wrestling videos when it comes to SmackDown, because their roster is so short, it's so it's become such a hampered roster in terms of numbers. They have to do what they can to make sure all the men and all the women get TV time. And that basically means a lot of tag matches. The problem with that is I feel like the same people are in the same tag matches. So after a while, those tag matches are not going to mean anything. I know I've seen Hype Bros and American Alpha take on the Ascension and Bob Villains before. I'm pretty sure I have. If I haven't, it feels like I have. And that's becoming an issue very quickly. I'm already getting tired of it. And we've only been like 2 months away. It's been like 2 months apart from the draft. And I'm already getting sick of these tag matches. That's becoming a problem. So hopefully we get to see how SmackDown remedies that problem over time. But other than that, it's just a decent pre-show match. Kurt Hawkins debuted on the pre-show as well. Had his Chuck Norris entrance. What was one that made me laugh? When Kurt Hawkins takes a day off, the day literally goes off. So we should be thankful that he decided to come to work today because the day is on. I don't know who is making this stuff up, but the stuff they're doing with Kurt Hawkins, this whole Chuck Norris stuff, it's so ridiculous that I don't know, it might actually get over. Like, it's like the broken Matt Hardy gimmick. It's so ridiculous. It's so out there, but it's so entertaining that it actually got over. So who knows? Maybe this will get over. He got a nice reaction when he first debuted, so we'll see. He might actually get over with the audience. He didn't have a match tonight, though, because I don't know. They didn't want to give him a match. Maybe that was planned. He has his first match this Tuesday on SmackDown, so look forward to that, I suppose. Got nothing else to say about him because I haven't gotten much to go off of. I mean, his vignettes are fine. They're not making me laugh yet. I just kind of feel like this whole Chuck Norris gimmick, it's taken a while to grow on me. But maybe after a while, maybe after some time of seeing him work in this role, I might feel the need to actually feel entertained by the guy. We'll see. But let's get into the actual card. Starting off with the opening match, which is the World Heavyweight Championship match. AJ Styles versus John Cena versus Dean Ambrose. This is new. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. I know why they did this, because the presidential debate was going to happen at 8 p.m. Well, 8 p.m. my time, 9 p.m. Central. 9 p.m. Eastern, excuse me. But 8 p.m. Central my time. I knew that was why this went on first. It was to allow fans who were watching the show to see this match before they watched the debate. Although, I still liked that they chose to open this up with the World Championship, because at the time I thought this clearly means we're going to close the show with the IC Championship match, which I said in my preview was the most interesting match on the card. And as such, it deserved to main event the show. I was cool with that. And it was a great opener. I loved this match. I thought it was a great match. AJ Styles, John Cena, and Dean Ambrose went out there and tore the house down. Could he have main event the show? Absolutely. But I'm happy that they opened up the show with it. It's a nice change of pace. I respect the balls on them to do that, by the way. Lots of crazy spots in this match. I love that AJ Styles won. The thing is, I was a bit put off by a couple of things about the match. First off, that spot where I think it was Dean Ambrose who hooked AJ Styles in the calf killer, the calf crusher, excuse me. And then AJ Styles got hooked up by the STF, and then he tapped out to both moves, which has happened before. I think it's happened before with CM Punk, John Cena, and Big Show at SummerSlam 2012. And then it happened again with Triple H, John Cena, Randy Orton at some event that I can't even remember. Was it WrestleMania 24? I don't remember. And both times, I think it's weird, because usually when a guy taps out, like what happened with AJ Styles tonight, a couple of things happen. It either ends with co-champions, which I was very scared of. When I saw AJ Styles tap out to John Cena and Dean Ambrose, I was like, oh my God, are we going with the co-championship storyline here? Well, first off, I was like, really? We're going to have AJ lose the championship this early? But then it was like, co-champions? But then the referee just said, no, I'm just going to call it off. The match continues, which is weird. I think they did that with CM Punk, John Cena, and Big Show. It's just, it was just off-putting at first. And then AJ Styles went with the use of a chair, which to me was like, okay, so triple threat matches had no disqualification, fine. If you can use a chair all this time, why are we bringing this in this late in the game? It was one of those things where it was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't complain about it too much because maybe he wanted to win fair and square. That was his whole deal. So he had to resort to using a weapon to keep his championship, which of course he would. He's a heel. He's a bad guy. He's supposed to do that. But I don't know. It's just that one spot where AJ tapped off put me off. Tapped out put me off. It was just, okay, well, I guess AJ is still champion. I'm happy he kept the belt. I guess this means we're going to do AJ Styles. Wait. I think we're going to do AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. I'm not too sure now based off of what happened. But we'll see where that goes. But I know we're doing Dean Ambrose and John Cena. We're definitely going to do that match next, which I'm excited about. I can't wait to see that. That's going to be nice. I guess that's another thing that kind of threw me off about this match. I don't know where you go from this. Are we doing another triple threat match soon? Because based off of that wacky finish, maybe, just maybe, John Cena and Dean Ambrose might get another shot at AJ Styles. I don't know what's getting ready to happen. Maybe that's how they want it. Maybe that's how they like it. They make you guess where they go. They don't want you to predict what's happening. They want you to kind of guess. Well, I'm not going to overthink it. We'll see what happens. AJ Styles retained. That was the best thing about it, and it was a great match. So let's go on to the next match, I suppose. What was the next match? I got to look at my card here because it threw me off. Oh, it was the first women's match. It's Nikki Bella versus Carmella. Now, this was a good match, and I felt like Carmella did a very good job of carrying it, by the way, as the heel. I've been loving her work since she turned heel. Since she turned heel, she's been really good on SmackDown. My thing is, first off, Nikki Bella won, which is not a big deal because that doesn't mean the feud is over. But I would think, this is where I, kind of step out of my boundaries as a fan and go into it as a critic. I would think the idea here is to keep the heel strong is probably the best word for it, although it didn't really hurt her that much. But I felt the idea here was to keep having Carmella escape with victories, like keep getting away from Nikki to a point where we had to put them in a match where there was no escape, and then Nikki got the victory over Carmella then. Right? That was the idea that I thought was getting ready to happen. I thought Carmella was going to escape with like a DQ victory over Nikki Bella tonight, which I thought would have been the best way to book it. No, Nikki just beat her clean. Like, clean. I actually thought that she was going to tap out, like Carmella was going to beat her clean, which would have been even better. If she would have beat Nikki Bella clean, then we really have a reason to do the second match. But no, Nikki just beat her. So my thing is, okay, why continue? It's kind of hard to continue from this point forward. They'll find a way to do it, but it's harder to do it because Nikki beat Carmella. The feud's over. Now if we do it, it's Carmella who has to prove herself against Nikki Bella, which changes the dynamics of the entire feud because we want to see Nikki Bella get the one up over Carmella. Now it's Carmella trying to get the one up over Nikki. It's weird. Very weird. I don't know. Maybe they'll pull out some, well, Carmella's gotten a one up over Nikki over the last month or so. So one match victory doesn't mean anything. I guess. But it was weird. It's just a lot of weird things going on. Matter of fact, when it comes to the women, and I'll get into the actual women's match with Naomi and Alexa Bliss right now, because I feel like that one was weird as well. Alexa Bliss is the #1 contender. So I thought, okay, well, if she's not going to beat Becky Lynch, here's an opportunity to give her some wins to really build on that idea. Yeah, she can be a women's champion. Well, she fought Naomi tonight, and Naomi beat her. And so I'm just really just scratching my head going, okay, that's weird. That one was weird. That one was just like, okay, wait. So the #1 contender who is supposed to fight Becky Lynch tonight just lost to Naomi clean. I don't understand what's going on with that picture. Is this one of those, okay, we need a program for Alexa Bliss to hold her over for the next month, so we're going to have her fight Naomi until Becky Lynch comes back? Is that one of those things? I guess, but I don't know, man. It's my expectations for the show, for what's getting ready to happen in these matches, might have been the bad thing about it. Might have actually hurt the show for me because I expected certain things to happen, and now that they didn't happen, I'm just kind of like, what's really the deal here? I like Naomi. If they want to give her a title shot, sure, but I thought the story was about Alexa Bliss here, so we'll see where they go with both of these women matches. It's going to be very interesting to see how they continue Carmella and Nikki Bella, but also where they go with Naomi and Alexa Bliss. Those are the only two things about this show that had me just like, what was the deal there? But I will say this. I actually like what they did with the Tag Team Championship. Now, I am someone that predicted the Usos to beat Beauty and the Man Beast, Heath Slater and Rhino. But the fact that they're keeping the championship belts on Rhino and Heath Slater actually made me smile. Like, why not keep this going? Fans actually like Heath Slater and Rhino. They're a great babyface tag team. Why break them up? I mean, why end this run this soon? Why stop it? Let's keep it going. Who says that it has to end at No Mercy? It could end this Tuesday on SmackDown. It could end at Survivor Series. It could end at Armageddon. Why not get the most out of this? Fans still like this tag team. I like the tag team. I think they're great. I love Heath Slater in his role right now. So let's keep them as tag team champions. No issues with that whatsoever. I just kind of feel like, once again, it's one of those things where I expected the Usos to win because they're in a feud with American Alpha. So now I'm kind of doing the whole, where are we going from here? You know, because think about it this way. Heath Slater and Rhino beat the Usos twice now. Twice. Clearly the Usos need to finish their feud with American Alpha. So who's going to fight Heath Slater and Rhino? Are we going to build up a new heel tag team like Tyler Breeze and Fandango or the Ascension? You know, I'm intrigued with where they go from this because I don't know where you go from this. Maybe they're going to bring in a new tag team. It was a good match, though, and I like the fact that they were keeping the championships on Rhino and Heath Slater, so I'm not going to complain about that. Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about Jack Swagger and Baron Corbin. Again, I was watching the debate while watching the show, so I don't remember too much about this match. All I know is Baron Corbin won. It was an average match. Can I just say I have zero interest in Jack Swagger? I don't care about Jack Swagger. I don't care. I think he's boring. The whole we the people stuff is the only thing keeping him interesting. But even that's kind of getting old. I'm not going to lie. Like, without Zeb Coulter, it makes no sense. He can keep it. That's fine. Yeah, I guess it does make sense in the sense that, you know, he's an American athlete. He used to be All-American and we the people. I got that. I respect that. The thing is, Jack Swagger is not interesting to me. And SmackDown is trying to make him interesting with this feud with Baron Corbin. And quite frankly, I feel like this feud is a step back for Baron Corbin. Just being real. Gonna be honest with you. I don't understand why we're giving Jack Swagger this TV time. I think people like Apollo Crews definitely Apollo Crews would deserve, should deserve more time than Jack Swagger. I think Jack Swagger is broken. He's just broken goods. He's no good at all. He needs to go. He was a world champion, didn't work out. He's just not good. I'm sorry. I don't like Jack Swagger. I don't like him. I don't understand why he gets TV time. I don't particularly like his matches. He bores me. So, yeah, didn't really care about this match. A match that I did care about, though, was the Intercontinental Championship match, title versus career. Here's my question to WWE. Why was this not the main event? I find it funny on Talking Smack that Daniel Bryan himself said this should have been the main event. And, of course, in kayfabe sense, he apologized because he was the one that made the card. But we all know it was bookers who made the card. Why didn't they book this match last? This should have been booked last. This had the most intrigue. This had the best story. This had the most hype behind it. You had the best champion in The Miz, the best heel champion in the company, and The Miz taking on Dolph Ziggler, who had a really good story behind it. All of this led up to a beautiful match where I felt like it could have gone either way. You could have had Miz win, retire Dolph Ziggler, and with all the hype and the stories behind him leaving WWE, having other stuff he wants to do, and then, you know, I'm reading reports that he might not be, and then people spoiling it, reading info about SmackDown saying we look at Dolph Ziggler's exit and stuff like that. I'm thinking to myself, okay, he might actually be going. But then it was that other side of the coin where this is a great opportunity to really capitalize and get the most out of Dolph Ziggler's story that tells the world that when he puts it all on the line and he wins the championship back, you know, he still has it. What a great match. A great opportunity to close a pay-per-view with the Intercontinental Championship. Rightfully so, it should have closed. It didn't. It happened right in the middle of the card during the presidential debate, which I felt like, oh, man. Now, I still watched it while the debate was happening. I don't know why I did that. I am so sorry. But from what I saw, the match was beautiful. It was a great match. Love the near falls. Love that the Miz went out of his way. You know, he used the exposed turnbuckles, used the ropes, grabbed the tights, had Maurice use the hairspray to blind Ziggler, had the Spirit Squad interfered. It really felt like the odds were against Ziggler. And the fact that he managed to pull out a victory over the Miz shocked me. And it got a massive pop. A massive pop in Sacramento. It was great. I loved it. I was so happy to see Ziggler get some comeuppance. No, what? Yeah, I was happy to see Miz get comeuppance, but I was happy to see Ziggler get a culmination to his story. Because ever since he came to SmackDown, he's always talked about he hasn't been given opportunities to really showcase who he is. And if he couldn't get it done, if he couldn't live up to what he preached himself to be, which is the best in wrestling today, then he shouldn't be here. Well, tonight he had the best match on the card. He stole the show. He had the biggest reaction from the audience, like second to AJ Styles, who I felt like was, he was basically the second most loved person on that roster. But Ziggler, man, this was a night for him. This was a great match. I know some of you are pissed that The Miz lost the IC Championship, and I get it. I understand it. If you are a lover of heel champions, I understand it completely why Miz lost that IC Championship and why you hate that. And to me, let me just say this. The whole point of a heel champion is to make the babyface look strong. If Miz was going to lose it, he should have lost it either one or two ways. This way, or having a long run and then dropping into a new guy coming up. And I'm fine with him losing it to Dolph Ziggler. Who's to say he won't get it back? Think about that for a minute. Some of you are just assuming that Miz will never get another championship ever. Trust me, he'll get a championship somehow, some way. He might get the IC championship back. This isn't the end for Miz. He's still one of the highest heels in wrestling right now. I still think he's doing the work of his career. And we'll have to see where this goes. I don't think this is it for Ziggler and Miz. Clearly, this feud is going to continue. Clearly. Especially with quality matches like this. Their matches have been great. I don't see why you would not continue this feud. We'll see where it goes, though, because, man, I'm interested to see what they do with Ziggler. Not just Ziggler as IC champion, but Miz. Because, man, this was a great match. This was beautiful. I loved it. Loved it all the way, man. I guess the only thing left to talk about is the main event, right? I think, yeah, the main event. So, Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt closed the show. I don't know what was the line of thinking when it came to this, because I would think, especially with the writers who are in charge of SmackDown, I would think the most logical choice would have been either the World Championship or the IC Championship, or at least a championship match. And you had two really hyped, really strongly hyped matches on this card that really should have closed the show. This match, I'm not going to lie, I don't think it should have closed the show. Was it a good match? It was solid. You know, it was about as good as it was going to be, honestly. I just kind of feel like with the way they hyped this matchup and with the placement of it, we should have gotten a lot more out of it than what we did. What we got out of it was Luke Harper returned, scared Randy Orton, and Bray Wyatt pinned Randy Orton, which was the right decision. I am happy he beat Randy Orton. If he would have lost to Randy Orton, I would not have liked that whatsoever. Bray Wyatt beat Randy Orton, as he should have. Which, again, getting back to what I said earlier with AJ Styles, makes me question if he is going to fight AJ Styles. Because now I kind of feel like, well, Bray Wyatt beat Randy Orton, so maybe he should fight AJ Styles. I don't know. I would love that match, by the way. That would be a great match. Shoot, especially if we turn Bray Wyatt face, or maybe AJ face. I don't know what we'll do if that actually happens. But I don't see why Randy Orton should fight AJ Styles now, because he lost to Bray Wyatt. As he should have, honestly. I really think Bray Wyatt going over was the right decision. In the main event, no. That placement of that match, I think, was weird. That should have been more in the middle of the card. Actually, I would have swapped the IC Championship match with this match, and quite frankly, I think the card itself would have been a lot better because of it. We really should have closed the show with that IC Championship match. But it's good to see Luke Harper back. You know, I've heard the stories that he's not been very happy with the way WWE hasn't played him up or has completely ignored him or pretended he never existed. He was very pissed off at an article on WWE.com that talked about the most interested people, it was free agents. It's like the top 5 free agents or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but he was upset that he wasn't on that list, you know? And I kind of feel like it might actually force him to work harder and in terms of inside the ring and as a performer to actually make sure that never happens again. So we'll see what happens going forward. But I am happy to announce that with the return of Luke Harper, the Wyatt family's back together. So there you go. A new tag team. There's your new tag team. The Wyatt family versus Luke. Oh, wait a minute. There you go. There are the new opponents for Heath Slater and Rhino. Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. There you go. The Wyatt family. Those are the new tag team opponents for Heath Slater and Rhino. So there you go. I think that's going to be a good match. I would actually love to see that. Wyatt family versus Luke Harper. What? Wyatt family, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan versus Heath Slater and Rhino. There you go. Matter of fact, with that happening, we might as well send Bray Wyatt out to the World Championship. And the Wyatt family gets to hold the gold. Dang, man. I don't know. I just kind of feel like right now, with the way SmackDown gave me the show, I don't I don't think it was a bad show. Wasn't a terrific show. It did enough to make me interested in SmackDown on Tuesday. Was I happy about some of the decisions made? Some of the decisions made, I wouldn't have made them, but it's not my show. I guess with me, I just have a lot of faith in SmackDown to really give me, to make the most out of this and really give me shows in the future that make me go, okay, well, I can see why you made this decision. That's where I am right now. That's the kind of place I am with SmackDown. I don't know what they're doing, but I want to see where they go with this. And maybe in the future, I can look back on this show and go, yeah, y'all didn't know what y'all was doing. You know, it's kind of a similar feeling I had with Lucha Underground. Although with Lucha Underground, what I anticipate to happen actually does happen. And as a result, on top of that, they also make me want more. With SmackDown, they didn't necessarily give me what I anticipated to happen. But I still am in a place where I'm like, okay, that's not what I would have done, but let's see where you go with that. So I'm giving it a B. I'm going to give the show a B. It was a good show. The right people went over. Bray Wyatt beat Randy Orton. AJ Styles is the champion. Ziggler is an IC champion. Heath Slater and Rhino Mysterio tag team champions. What's there to complain about, really, other than the structure of the card? Which, again, based off of circumstances, I understand why they did that. Because if a debate wasn't happening tonight, I can guarantee you the World Championship would have closed the show. Although I still, even then, if the World Championship closed the show, I still would have said the IC title should have closed the show. That should have been the main event, period. But what grade do you give No Mercy tonight? What are your thoughts about that? I am looking forward to reading your comments. As a matter of fact, let me go to the live feed right now. Overall thoughts on the show, guys. Let me read it. What you guys got? Lots of B's. Pretty much everybody's agreeing with me, I suppose. A B show. Let me read some of these comments. 7 out of 5 stars. Wow. That's an A+ there, sir. B, B-, C+, an A show. Okay. B-, B+, B, A show. Uh-oh. What's this? Someone just told me that Eric Rowan is out on injury. No. Really? Eric Rowan is out on injury now of all times? Of all times to be out on injury. Like, Luke Harper just came back, and I was like, oh, Wyatt versus Heath Slater and Rhino. Perfect. And then he gets hurt. Wonderful. Great. So, what? Are we going to do Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper, I suppose? That just really throws a wrench in my plan. That sucks. Let's see here. C+, 7.5. Now, this guy says he was disappointed in the SmackDown pay-per-view because he expected more. Let's see here. Yeah. Not too many people are upset about the show. Some of you are like me. You're kind of threw off by the structure of the card, but what else can you do about that? I understand why they did that. So I guess going forward, we'll just have to see what SmackDown does because I have no idea what they're going to do. Everything that I thought was going to happen after this show has completely gone out the window. I don't know if we're doing AJ Styles and Randy Orton. I don't even know if we're going to be doing freaking what was the other match I said was getting ready to happen? John Cena and Dean Ambrose, because I hear they're getting ready to take time off. That would have been a great match. You know, that would have been an awesome match to see. But we'll see, man. It's show me something. Well, you got SmackDown. I am completely oblivious to what you're doing. So I expect high quality out of you guys. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I don't usually do that a lot. Please don't make me look like a fool. Please don't make me look like a fool. But thank you guys for watching. It was a very interesting show. I hope you liked my review, my reactions. Share your thoughts down below. Like me on Facebook. Subscribe here on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. Everything in the description box, as well as buying the t-shirt. Other than that, this is your boy, Alyx Man, signing off for the night. You guys take it easy. Peace out.